Manchester United back champions league this week. Massive game for Manchester United. Now, we're not playing the big hitters of European football. We're not playing the Barcelonas and the PSGs and the Real Madrids of this world, but Sevilla is still a massive game for Manchester United in this Champions League. It's our first knockout game for a long time, and Spanish opposition hasn't always been that easy for Manchester United. I think that Sevilla remain about 5th in the Spanish league at the moment, so they're no mugs. They did get draw against Liverpool not too long ago in the group stage, gave them all sorts of problems when Liverpool were 3-0 up. So can't score goals, so Manchester United are going to really have to be wary in this one. Going away to Spain is never an easy task. So for Manchester United to get to the next round of the Champions League, we're going to have to play well and win well in these two games. I think playing bad or average is probably not going to get Manchester United through, or we're going to struggle to get through. Now, we haven't been playing very well lately, but we've got the job done. I think we're going to have to play better than we have done to get through this one, unless, of course, Sevilla play absolutely horseshit in this one, but I don't really see them playing that bad. Now, Manchester United have got problems, injury problems to worry about. Would be nice to have a fully fit squad, but you know, that's no excuse. Manchester United have got to go there and get the job done. Now, we've been hearing that Rojo and Jones are probably both out of this game. Zlatan's still out, Fellaini's still out, so there's a number of players injured. There's still question marks over Pogba, Herrera, players like that, Rashford at this moment in time. Now, that could change tomorrow on Tuesday when the press conference from Jose Mourinho comes out. They may be declared fit. Pogba was declared fit for the Huddersfield game, then became ill. So we will have to wait and see. So we may have to bring in the likes of Gomez and Hamilton, them sort of players into the squad for this game. May have to bring one or two of them in. We will have to wait and see though. If the likes of Rashford and Herrera can return, then we won't need to. But you really need to take I think they usually take at least a 20 odd something man squad to this game. So you will need a few players that aren't on the substitutes bench for this one, because we are going abroad. So you may have to bring a couple of youngsters in if some of them can't recover. Now, what sort of team is he gonna pick? There is also actually question marks over Valencia as well, because he didn't feature at the weekend, but he should be fit for this game. The only one that wasn't injured from the weekend, that was only rested, according to Jose Mourinho, was David De Gea. So I thought that Valencia was rested, but he did say that he should be back for this one. So he'll be at right back. I can't see him not be. He's going to put Ashley Young at left back. I'll sooner see Luke Shaw play left back. Then it's going to be Eric Bay and Chris Smalling. It's got to be really with David De Gea in goal. I mean, it could be Lindelof and Bay, which is my preferred partnership, what I want to see going forward for Manchester United. But Lindelof hasn't had enough minutes for Manchester United at all this season. Neither has Bay, but I know Bay is quality. Anyway, then is he going to go for the three-man midfield? Now, if he goes for the three-man midfield, what three is he going to go for? Pogba and Matic will probably be the two in midfield. Pogba should return for this one. Will he put Scott McTominay in there as well? I wouldn't be ashamed. I'd be disappointed if he does put Scott McTominay in there with them two players. Pogba would preferably be on the left-hand side of the midfield three, which is what Jose Mourinho wanted before this game. Then probably Martial and Sanchez with Romelu Lukaku up front. That would be probably the team that I can see him go. He might not go for Scott McTominay. He'll probably play a two-man midfield and probably play Jesse Lingard or Juan Mata out wide as well. So, but that's sort of a similar lineup that I would probably go for in this game. I don't know if Carrick can handle 2 games in succession like we've just had, but maybe Herrera will be back for this one. That midfield third player is becoming a bit of a problem, but Scott McTominay did okay in that game. I know it was only Huddersfield, but did okay in that game, and he's a decent squad player for Manchester United. He's not the most talented of players. He's not Alexis Sanchez or Anthony Martial. He's not going to beat 3 or 4 players and stick it in the top corner. That's really not Scott McTominay's game. But a decent player, squad player for Manchester United. Didn't cost Manchester United anything, come through the U team, so you can't really argue with that. And if he goes on to be a decent squad player for Manchester United, then it's great for Manchester United. You can go on to have a career like Darren Fletcher or someone. That would be great for Manchester United, not having to pay anything for him. And has obviously got a passion for playing for Manchester United because he's come through the U team. and that's what you want. You want youth players to come through and have that passion. Now, as I say, Sevilla aren't even in the top 4 in the Spanish league, so on paper Manchester United should be good enough to beat these over 2 legs, but I'm not sure it's going to be that convincing, and I think this one's going to be really tough. Now, we have seen some of the other English teams get great results. Obviously, Tottenham probably get the pick of the bunch because they got a 2-2 draw away at Juventus. The other two were against maybe slightly lesser opposition, but still away from home. Liverpool beating Porto very convincingly, and Man City beating Basel very convincingly, considering Manchester United lost to Basel. So they've all had positive results. So I'm not expecting a big scores like that, because this is more difficult probably than them 2 games, but probably maybe less difficult than the Juventus one. But still, I'm expecting Manchester United to give them a run for their money in this one, but I'm expecting a tight affair, certainly for the first leg anyway. Manchester United might be a bit more comfortable at Old Trafford and might win 2 or 3-0 at home, but I can't see that away from home. I'll be a bit surprised, but you never know, because we did play CSKA in Moscow. Okay, they were horseshit in the group against Manchester United, but we did swat them aside 4-0 away in Russia, which I never expected to happen. But I'm going to go for Manchester United drawing this game 1-1. I would be fairly happy with that. I mean, obviously I'm be a bit jealous because Manchester City and Liverpool won so convincing last week, and pretty much can afford to maybe rest 2 or 3 players for the second leg, which would be nice if Manchester United could win 3 or 4-0, but you can't really expect that against Spanish opposition. It's just, if it happens, it's a bonus, because then Manchester United could afford to maybe rest 2 or 3 players for that second leg, give the likes of Valencia maybe a rest, maybe Matic a rest as well for that second leg, maybe put Rashford up front instead of Lukaku for the second leg if Manchester United were 3 or 4 up, which is obviously an absolute luxury for some teams in this, if they're in that position, because Manchester United have obviously got a few injuries. That's no excuse, but you want a few players to be rested so that you don't pick up any more injuries, because we're still in the FA Cup as well, and Manchester United will be wanting to go as far as we can in both competitions, and hopefully maybe get to the latter stages of 1 or 2 of these competitions. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon.